Hello, dear children. Let's start the next lesson, chapter number 9 of your book, A Bicycle in Good Repair. If you wish to go on a long bicycle ride, the bicycle should be in good condition. So, as dear children, you know it very well. If you wanted to go ride on bicycle, the first thing you need is proper maintained bicycle. The bicycle should be in good condition. If possible, an extra mechanic should overhaul it. But what happens if the mechanic has a will of its own and the mechanic knows next to nothing? Say if any trouble come to your bicycle, we believe on the mechanic. But this story asks a question, what if the mechanic knows next to nothing? This is the idea the story is going to focus about. So let's start this story, which has already created enthusiasm in our mind, curiosity in our mind to know what is hidden in this story. Let's begin the story. A bicycle in good repair. A man I knew proposed one evening we should go for a long bicycle ride together on the following day, and I agreed. The author is saying that once a man proposed one bicycle ride next day, and I agreed for that. I got up early. For me, I made an effort and was pleased with myself because he was not in habit of getting early. So that day, because they had planned to go on bicycle ride, that is why he had to get up, and he was very happy that he was capable to do that task. He came half an hour late. I was waiting for him in the garden. It was a lovely day. He kept him waited for half an hour. He came. That time the author was waiting for him and he was standing near his garden. It was a lovely day, a good day to start. Weather was nice for a bicycle riding. He said, "That's a good looking machine of yours. How does it run?" Now the story is developing where the man said that you had a very good cycle. And how does it run? Oh, like most of them, I answered, easily enough in the morning, going a little stiffy after lunch. He said, like every machine, it works, meaning initially it moves very easily. Later on, I need to do some efforts as most of the machine works. He caught hold of it by the front wheel and the fork and shook it violently. So he catched his bicycle from the front wheel where the cycle is going to have two parts, and he shook it very violently, hastily. I said, "Don't do that. You will hurt it." I did not see why he should shake it. It had not done anything to him. The author could not understand why the man was shaking the bicycle, because there was no trouble in the bicycle, and moreover the bicycle had not done anything wrong to that man. Besides, if it wanted shaking, I was the proper man to shake it. I felt much I should had the. He started whistling my dog. Whistling meaning breathing, striking. See, he could not understand why the man was shaking his bicycle. If any maintenance is needed, if any sort of shaking was needed, the boy was thinking he should be the person who did it, because it was his bicycle. But meanwhile, the man had started waggling my dog, meaning he had started breathing, striking his dog. He said, "This front wheel wobbles." Wobbles meaning move unsteadily from side to side, meaning not properly fixed, not moving in a proper fixed place. He said, "Your front wheel is not proper, it is wobbling." I said, "It doesn't. If you don't wobble it, it didn't wobble. As a matter of fact, nothing worth calling a wobble. He said, no, it's absolutely perfect. If we don't want to wobble it, it never wobbled. There is no problem in my bicycle, he said. He said, this is dangerous. Have you got a hammer? I ought to have been firm, but I thought that perhaps he really did know something about the business. I went to the tool shed to see what I could find. Though the boy wanted to say no, don't do anything to my cycle, because that was perfectly functional. But the man was so much confident that he could not say anything to him. Instead of that, he brought his toolbox and he gave his hammer to him. When I came back, he was sitting on the ground with the front wheel between his legs. He was playing with it, twirling it round between his fingers. The remnant of the machine was lying on the gravel path beside him. Meanwhile, he went inside to bring the toolbox. The moment he came, he saw the man had taken out his cycle's wheel and he was playing with that. And the remaining part of that machine was kept lying on the ground. He said, it looks to me as if the bearing were all wrong. He said that it looks to me, he said that a bearing was wrong. Everything is wrong in your cycle, he said it. I said, don't you trouble about it anymore. You will make yourself tired. Let us put it back and get off. The boy did not want to, the man should touch his bicycle. So he said, you please leave it aside. I do not want you should fix it. Just make it as it was earlier. Fix that wheel where it was earlier. Today in this video, we will do this much only. Thank you, dear.